Hello students, welcome to the class. Types of advertising, lesson 23, advertising campaign 2. Objectives, advertising campaigns, setting goals and objectives, steps involved in campaign planning, process of advertising, campaign management, segmentation, targeting and positioning. Marketing is primarily concerned with understanding the customers and designing marketing strategy to ensure customer satisfaction. Advertising is the most visible phase of marketing. The reasons to advertise in terms of a campaign is due to the fact that buyers are forgetful of erratically appearing ads due to clutter of large number of advertising messages. Performance motivates the advertisers to choose an advertising campaign suitable for many goods and services. An advertising campaign is a systematic effort to achieve some predetermined objectives. It may be a political campaign for elections or a social campaign to raise money or a systematic effort to promote a product or service. According to Collins Dictionary, a campaign is a series of advertisements, often with additional events and activities. A campaign is a planned series of advertisements that will be used in particular places at particular times in order to advertise a product or service and persuade people to buy it or use it. To understand further, an advertising campaign is a series of advertisements that share a single idea and theme which make up an integrated marketing communication. Advertising campaigns are the groups of advertising messages which are similar in nature. They share same messages and themes placed in different types of medias at some fixed times. 1. Brand awareness. It is common for marketers to appoint brand awareness as the most important goal in their marketing strategy. 2. Website traffic. 3. Social engagement. 4. Displaying video ads. 5. Understanding your target audience. Informative advertising creates awareness of brands, products, services and ideas. It announces new products and programs and can educate people about the attributes and benefits of new or established products. An advertising campaign plan is a plan to achieve an objective, usually of a large scale, over an extended period of time. It usually coordinates many activities and uses of resources involving multiple organizations. A campaign plan could also have subordinate objectives or intermediate milestones and is often broken down into phases. There are many steps to developing an advertising campaign plan. These steps will vary depending on the type of product or service promoted and the advertising budget. The objective of an advertising campaign is to inform people about your product, convince them to buy the product, make your product available to the customers. It is essential that you need to understand the nitty-gritties that are involved in the steps of campaign planning, which would help enable the planning team to foresee the possible consequences that may emerge. Just to simplify, These steps can make life easier for marketeers to remember, be used before one starts the advertising campaign planning journey. Evaluate the advertising opportunity. This is the first and most crucial stage for the marketeers to ascertain and understand the root cause or the pressing need as to why the advertiser has decided to advertise. Remember, the first half of advertising is finding the problem the business is facing, and the second half is the solution. Most marketeers concentrate on the second half. Finding the exact problem to solve can be a game changer. Define the target group. It's important to know and narrow down the consumer. Who buys and why do they buy? It's vital to know the motivations of the consumer to buy. The demographic characteristics, geographical locations, and the buyer's characteristics are equally important. For instance, tell me what you think the base of the carbonated soft drink. Thumbs up. Since it is positioned as a drink which has a strong kick, most people will think the buyers would be skewed towards male. But the answer is no. Its base is equally split almost between the males and females, setting the advertising goal. This is where the advertiser sets the overall objective of the campaign, not just for the campaign, but sets the objective for all the mediums used in the campaign. They can set basis. What does the brand, product, service wants for the campaign? For example, take a company like CRED. It's a bill payment platform that rewards its users on timely payments. The task for the company when it launched was to create buzz for the brand name, and what they do. They choose a highly differentiated campaign which was extremely buzzworthy and ran a series of advertisements on the Indian Premier League IPL. Allocate the budget. Nothing comes free in the business world. The company has to have a clear idea of how much financial capability one has to spend in the creation and then running an advertising campaign. Remember, every company needs to operate on a budget. Till the time one knows the budget, one cannot run an efficient show. One good way to determine the budget is to see how much the competitor is spending in the category of historically how much of money is put in by a new player. Marketeers track a share of voice, SOV, that is how much they have spent or should spend in the category. Formulate the media and creative strategy. It is one of the critical steps that the marketeer needs to decide on the media as well as the creative strategy. A media plan decides where to target, whom to target, what medium one has to aim, etc. A good media plan or a planner efficiently manages to find the combination of media that will cater to a large market at minimum costs. To be able to do this, the marketeer needs to not only know its target group. In a nutshell, a good marketeer would know where its entire target group would be during points of day and give them the message accordingly. Pre-testing the ad. It should be noted that not all clients will do testing of the advertisement before it gets a green signal to run, but it's a good idea to carry out research of the advertisement. It should be undertaken to evaluate how the ad perform on various attributes like persuasion, likability, etc., so that one does not waste ad rupees on the final product. Post research, Tweaks are made in the tested advertisement. There are different techniques, both qualitative, focus group discuss. This gives the marketeer a lot of confidence when the end product meets or overachieve on the set benchmarks. Post evaluation. Some companies also do post evaluation of the advertising campaign. This is done to check the effectiveness of the advertisement's message, the feedback from the user group or a new group that the ad is targeting makes the message sharper. In most cases, not just the finished advertisement is reached, but after the campaign, one must figure out how we achieved the end goal of the campaign. One must benchmark the set objectives and the end objectives. Let's look at the way how the modern marketeer goes about with the process of advertising campaign management. The first step is to define the 4 W's and 1 H. The 4 W's are why, who, what, when, while the H is how. Why? This is where one defines the short and long-term goals of the advertising campaign. How do they align with business objective? This identifies the business problem that advertising is trying to solve and how communication will help in meeting that goal. Who? This describes to whom the advertising will address, who will be the primary and secondary audience for the campaign, who will the communication reach, and for whom it will be relevant for. All these questions will be dealt accordingly. What? This clearly articulates what the campaign will say. In an ideal scenario, the marketeer defines what to say while the advertising agency decides how to say the key message. When? This is the stage when the marketeer decides when to actually break the campaign, also called on a date. Is this a tactical campaign? Say a campaign done for a sale, Diwali sale, or a planned long-term campaign which happens at a particular time like IPL, or one which runs throughout the year. How? This tells the marketeer what will be the formats in which it will be present, the choice of channels to advertise, should one go online or offline or a mix of both. All such decisions are part of this activity. Discussed in the earlier section paves the way for the various stages involved in advertising marketing campaigns. One framework which marketeers follow to cover the customer life cycle funnel is the PRASE framework. It follows the established customer life cycle marketing funnel from creating awareness, generating leads, converting prospects to sell online or offline, and encouraging repeat sales. PRASE, the acronym, stands for plan, reach, act, convert, and engage respectively. Plan. Planning is the first step in the advertising campaign design. It involves creating the overall strategy, objective, and plan. In most cases, the current advertising campaign will be part of a larger marketing initiatives with its own larger strategic goal and key performance area already defined. This will help in aligning the marketing activities with the broader strategic vision. It's important to clearly define and articulate why we are doing this campaign. Reach. This involves building awareness and visibility of your brand, products and services in offline media or on other websites. The idea is to reach the maximum number of people and the maximum time of interactions with the advertisement. It is dependent on the reach, number of the advertising vehicle one chooses. For online media, this would translate to visits to the company website, social media pages, or the new microsite one has created for the campaign. Identifying how one does maximizes reach, say for a sports program like IPL, the reach does not increase day to day. ACT. ACT is the short form of interact. The main aim of this stage is to generate leads. It encourages the interaction between the consumer and the brand. It's all about persuading the consumer to interact with the brand. Some current examples of interact tools would be QR codes, contests, interactions on social or website. It's about persuading the consumer to take the next step, the next action in their customer journey. Convert. This is simply conversion to sale, online or offline. It involves doing activities which result or help in getting the audience to take the final step, which turns them into paying consumers. The last mile connectivity with the ad provides in terms of a sale discount, new product launch, or in the online medium, taking the consumer through the e-commerce transaction. Engage. A modern metric of the current era is all about generating engagement between the brand and the consumer. Showering the love of the consumer, this is all about developing a long-term relationship with the consumer. This helps in building customer loyalty with repeat purchases and developing a long-term relationship with buyers. Today, segmentation, targeting and positioning (STP) is a familiar strategic approach in modern marketing. It is one of the most commonly applied marketing models in practice. In the 1950s, for example, the main marketing strategy was product differentiation. The STP model is useful when creating marketing communication plans since it helps marketeers to prioritize propositions and then develop and deliver personalized and relevant messages to engage with different audiences. This is an audience rather than product focused approach to communications which helps deliver more relevant messages to commercially appealing audiences. In addition, STP focuses on commercial effectiveness, selecting the most valuable segments for a business, and then developing a marketing mix and product positioning strategy for each segment. Segmenting audience. 1. Demographics. Breakdown by any combination: age, gender, income, education, marital status, education, household, odd business, size, length of residence, type of residence, or even profession, occupation. 2. Psychographics. This refers to personality and emotions based on behavior linked to purchase choices, including attitudes, lifestyle, hobbies, risk aversion, personality, and leadership traits, magazines read, and TV. While demographics explain who your buyer is, psychographics inform you why your customer buys. There are a few different ways you can gather data to help form psychographic profiles of typical customers. 3. Audience. In order to reach this fine balance of reach and frequency, it is critical to identify who the right audience would be for the media plan. An understanding of who is the audience for the campaign a granular understanding of who the target customer is and what they consume in their media habits are utmost important. In a world which has become far more fragmented, it's a real challenge to stand out from the clutter. In the entire process of advertising, the most crucial role is for the media. It determines where and how many times does one gets to see and notice the advertising message. Marketers must know how to harness that power to deliver messages to the right people and at the right time. It's important to realize that whatever is the nature of the message, it will be conveyed via some form of media, owned, paid and earned. Reach. In simplest terms, reach refers to the actual number of people who can see your advertisement. For example, if your newspaper sells 20,000 papers per day, your advertisement have the potential to be seen by at least 20,000 people. If a TV program has 2 lakh audience, its reach is 2 lakhs. Higher the reach, higher will be the advertisement cost. Determining reach isn't an exact science. It is based on estimates determined by circulation numbers, viewership ratings, listenership ratings and clicks or views on websites. Sometimes, such as with outdoor ads like billboards, reach is estimated using population and traffic data. It doesn't account for whether multiple people see the same message in the same spot. The need to focus on reaching as many potential customers as possible can quickly become expensive and fruitless if you aren't attempting to reach the right ones. Frequency. In what frequency will the message be seen? That is, how many times the message will be seen by the same audience. Frequency is the number of times someone within your target demographic sees a marketing message within the campaign period. Research indicates that most people need to be exposed to a message several times before they take action. The more one sees the message, that is frequency, the likelihood of your messages sticking in audience memory is high. Repetition helps establish your brand, creating associations between your messages and your company, though a higher frequency would mean that it will be expensive. It also makes the consumers get bored and creative fatigue sets in viewing the same ad multiple times. Keeping all this in mind, many marketers have adopted multi-channel strategies to achieve their frequency goals. For example, the same ad may appear on television and online, or advertisers may send direct mail pieces in addition to television ads. These strategies often include frequency caps, limiting the number of times individual sees the same message. One cheat sheet could be to embark on a 3-phase journey. The first 2 to 3 impressions should gain attention and build awareness. The next stage, evaluation, is addressed by impressions 3 to 10 and focused on presenting the benefits of the brand and its position. Need-based. In this segmentation, your audience is grouped by similar needs and or benefits a particular group is seeking for. Problem-solving needs. Your product or service solves a problem for a group of your customers' experience. For example, gluten-free products for customers. Functional needs. This simply means practical needs. Are customers looking for a way to make something easier, perform better, more efficient. For example, a network provider release an app to help customers manage their data needs. Emotional needs. When a group of people share an emotional desire, frustration, bike enthusiasts who want to form a club and experience the world. Transactional. When one looks at the spending patterns, transaction of the consumer is called transactional segmentation. It looks at how much spends the consumer has done or what are the spending patterns of the consumer. To say that advertising campaign planning has changed in the last decade or so will be an understatement. For sure, and the primary reason for it is technology and media. The way media is consumed has completely made paradigm changes which have led in the way marketers approach advertising today. Internet has become such an integral part of what we do on a day-to-day basis, and that impact advertisers today. Within the new age media, new paradigms are emerging too.